Hello, my name is Marshawn Jack. This video is for my Intro to Sociology class, Professor James Ford, for Module 8's homework assignment. In this video, I am going to be answering the 4 questions that were asked on our assignment. So I will start off with the first one. So, society has changed over the past decade from style to language and even our environmental resources. Give an example of how social change has affected physical environment, population, innovation, diffusion, and mass media. Okay, so first I'm going to start off with how social change has affected physical environment. So right now, we're just kind of sort of finishing up in the pandemic with COVID-19. Um, it hit a year and a half ago, and people were just really panicking and just really afraid. Hundreds of thousands of people lost their lives. There was no vaccine to it. Um, and it's just really something that, for a person like me, it was something that I've never seen in my lifetime. I've never seen anything like that. Where even, I mean, there were some cases where doctors were dying and just didn't have answers for people. We were locked in our homes. We had curfews. So how I think this current thing has cause social change to affect the physical environment is because we now are more conscious in the environment socially. So if we go, I know the governor has said that, we don't have to wear the mask and things like that, and everyone can get the vaccine pretty much. But now, like socially, you're more consciously aware of your surroundings and people getting close to you, or you're more aware of things that you touch, and you just kind of think about, washing your hands more, or some people have decided that they will still wear their mask, and that could be the new normal. That could be a new thing for a lot of people. Because there are a lot of people out there who are saying that they're not going to get the vaccination because they don't understand. There's not a lot of, I know there's research behind it, but not a lot of, I guess, evidence of how it will affect us long term. So I think that that's a social change in our environment. So just really being aware of your surroundings, things that you touch, sanitizing things. Also, this really caused a lot of tension in a lot of people. A lot of people were angry at, the way the certain decisions that the government made in regards to this. So there's a lot, I think there's a lot of tension out there too. So people are kind of in the environment more aware of their surroundings. It's just, it's going to take a little bit of time for us to get back to normal, and for everyone to just really just understand, okay, that happened and this is how we move forward, and, things kind of calm down. So I just think really being more aware and more self-conscious in that regard. As far as how social change has affected population, well, I think that I think there are a lot of due to the fact that we have the type of healthcare system that we have, which is really good. There's so many more advances in like things like education as far as cancer. We know more about nutrition and things, what to do, what not to do, to affect us as far as eating a well-balanced diet to avoid things like diabetes or high blood pressure. There's just more technology, more education, more things that are just more services that are available to us that our great grandparents or ancestors did not really have. Uh, the medical world or was a lot different. It was a lot more brutal, if you will, then. So I think that that is something that will cause people to live longer in the upcoming generations, or decades. I think people will live longer because there's more research. There's just more things available to them. So I think that's going to help the population grow. And another thing too is coming out of COVID, I think a lot of people will, who were lonely and things like that. I think there's going to be a lot of COVID babies. I personally know 3 people who are having COVID babies. So, but yeah, big thing is the advances in the healthcare system. I think that's something that's really going to help the population, help our population. Okay, the next question is, let's see, innovation. So, what I have to say about innovation is the fact that innovation is like an invention, and something that is really so invention of something new and something that's already there. So, in my example of that would be, electric cars, because we want to, you know, protect our environment and things like that. So, like the Tesla model cars, I think that's something that social change has really affected because it really, really helps out the environment because you can plug them up. As far as diffusion, um, diffusion is like cultural traits that are spread from or used from different cultures in here. So the United States, I would say, is, it's full of, our country is full of immigrants. So we kind of use their things and they use ours. For example, we like to eat sushi. We love, there's a lot of, I live in Arizona, there's a lot of Mexican food here in Arizona. You have, when you go to restaurants, you have a menu that's in English and in Spanish. People who live in New York may wear like prayer beads or something like that. So we kind of like adapt to different cultures, or people from different countries who have lived here. They kind of, if they go back to their countries, they'll have, you know, kind of our accent or things like that. Another thing, we celebrate Cinco de Mayo here, which is a Mexican holiday. So, and then for mass media, I think that, so I live in Arizona and we have Fox News, we have CNN, and I just think that, they're both really good news outlets. They get the information out there to people. As far as the social change in mass media and today, in my opinion, I think that the news is completely different. I think it's more like a personal opinion. I think it's, they're supposed to report and state facts and make us aware of things that are happening in the world. And I remember, being younger or just, years ago, just the whole vibe, the whole tone of the news was just completely different. Now it's really, I feel like it's more divided. Um, so, yeah. So that's, and a lot of that right now has to do with our presidents, the election, the whole deal about, the voter fraud, which, goes back to COVID-19. It just really, the past year was just really, um, very not so good one. You had people in the mass media, the news, different news outlets and stations kind of going back and forth. I've never seen that before, to that extent. Um, so, but I mean, we do have good news outlets that make us, well informed. So you can kind of decide what channel, which one you want to go to, and kind of, I guess, compare and contrast and, your own personal beliefs. And so now, let's see, that's mass media. The information revolution was and still is an important perspective in social change. In your opinion, how has it changed society, and how do you feel it will change society in the future? So I think that, with computers and technology and the iPhones and, things like that, I think that it has changed just because the things that we're allowed to do. I mean, you used to, have to write things down. Now you can just, and a worker would have to file it. Now things are saved on computers. You can, store information there, and just how they've really helped out in the workplace, with, research, the type of research that we can do and things like that. Um, and then I'll say that as far as the future, I think that there could be less jobs, because I think that, there's going to be more kind of like robots that can, um, produce more things more efficiently than humans. Um, and I just think that technology will really um, be more present in our lives in the future. I mean, we already have cars that can pretty much drive themselves. So I think it will just really be more present in the medical field, produce, our economy. So that's that. How has modernization changed many underdeveloped nations? I would say that it has allowed them to, be able to also, learn technology. It helps them be able to produce more jobs. So people have more diversity. It also has helped them be able to compete, their economy be able to compete with others. Um, so it helps them with the production of goods. Um, so, yeah. What are the types of social movements that have occurred in history? When and why did they occur? So I will say that one in particular is Black Lives Movement. Black Lives Movement was founded in 2013. It's a group. It actually was founded as a result of a kid being killed. And so it's just about like police brutality and, black rights, and ensuring that they're treated equally and things like that. And um, another one is the Civil Rights Movement, and that one was from 1954 through 1968. And that one was just to, for also equal rights, to end things like segregation, and to allow African Americans to be able to vote and have, equal rights as far as others. And then the last one is the gay rights movement, which started in the 1920s and kind of still goes on today. We have things like gay pride. It's just, advocating for the rights and equal treatment of gay men, lesbians, transgenders. Um, so, um, and just making sure that they're treated fairly and are, respected and included. Today's world has changed a lot, and in society, this generation in society, I feel like we're more accepting um, of gays and transgenders and things like that. So, okay, that's my paper. For my Module 8 assignment. Again, my name is Marshawn Jack. This is for Intro to Sociology with Professor James Ford. And this has been a really good course. I really enjoyed it, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.